the historical has an allegorical function. It performs allegorically. And I just want you to hear now the ending of Jodha Akbar.
जिंदगी की खुशियों का भगवान शौक और अजान की आवाज से तय नहीं होता। तो मेरे इस्लाम एक मुसलमान ताहम हमारा सर हर मजहब की बहन पर झुकता आया है। हमारी सल्तनत में रही आजाद कि वो अपने अपने मजहब के दामन पर घुसा दी। हिंदुस्तान से दरख्वास्त करते कि वो हमारे करीब हाजिर जीवन नाम और मुगल सल्तनत को हम ये आखिरी बार बता दें कि रानी जोधा हिंदू राजपूत हैं, हमारी बेगम है और मलका हिंदुस्तान भी। इनके खिलाफ कदम उठाना मुगल सल्तनत के खिलाफ कदम उठाने जैसा है। ये बात भी आप सबको रोशन रहे कि हर मजहब का एहतराम और बर्दाश्त करने की चाहत ही आने वाले हिंदुस्तान को सुनहरा बना सकती है। आमीन। आज के लिए कुछ और सकता ही था, बस आपकी सलामती की दुआ।
ये थी कहानी जोधा अकबर की। इनकी मोहब्बत की मिसाल नहीं दी जाती, फरमाने जो प्यार न किया जाता है। शायद इसलिए कि इतिहास में इसे महत्व ही नहीं दिया, जबकि सच तो ये है कि जोधा अकबर एक साथ मिलकर चुपचाप इतिहास बनाया है।
Look at the historical. As a genre set in the 16th century, and at this moment of communal tension, what Gwarekar is doing is deploying the figure of Akbar. Okay? In a context where there is hostility against, in the majority community, a sense, deep prejudices against Muslims, hostility against Muslims, deploying the figure of the loved, respected Akbar as the embodiment of what we today in India want to uphold, that is the secular ideals of the nation. And using the love story or creating the story of Jodha and Akbar, the love story of Jodha and Akbar, as an embodiment of the silent history that was being built. In other words, the secular ideals of the nation are not those that were propounded today. This is the history of India. It is the history that Akbar and Jodha built, and that Jodha symbolically that they built, and that is what they represented. What Bombay cinema has been attempting to do, I think, is in the initial period when it did not and could not directly address the communal question, it used indirect ways, used genre, used stereotypes, but used positive stereotypes of the Muslim in order to counter the kind of prejudices that existed in mainstream culture. Later, after the demolition of Babri Masjid, the cinema addresses the issues. It's as if now, the kind of communal conflict and hostility cannot be kept anymore. It's out there. It is part of your everyday life. These are images, these are stereotypes that are circulating. Of course, you can say these are very, very rhetorical films. They are very preachy. They are very melodramatic, and they're very hysterical. They are, because the issue itself is a hysterical issue. I mean, there is no calmness around the communal question in India. It's an issue that evokes strong passions. It evokes such strong passion that people are willing to go out in the streets and kill each other for it. And therefore, the form that can reach out to that kind of strong whipping up of emotion is a form which in mainstream films is known as the melodramatic form. But it also uses genres, and with my last clip I just wanted to show how it actually deploys the historical and the allegorical force of the historical to address the issues of today. And the key thing then in the cinema, and there was a period in the 80s when the images of the Muslims were becoming very communalized, but overall I would say that Bombay cinema has been a cinema that has upheld the ideal of reconciliation, an ideal of living together, of keeping the communities together. And it has constantly used different ways of getting the message across that ours is a shared culture. And it has used music, it has used dance, it has used rhetoric, it has used ideological interventions, and it has used genre, of course, like Jodha Akbar is doing today. What Jodha Akbar is doing really is addressing the contemporary issue, the issue of today, the divisive forces that are rending the fabric, our social fabric. So it's attempting to address that, and it's attempting to address it via the figure of a Muslim emperor. So I'll stop here today, and then we can have some questions if you want.